Oh, let's see, I think I'm on. I might try and find a funny title for, I'm not sure, No Tacos for White Men or something. I'm going to just do this update. I'm almost finished with the Ephesians post, which I write, and then that's going to close the study we did on Ephesians. And I was kind of, I'm grateful that I'm able to now lay down. I'm in pain, but now it's not that bad. But one thing I'm like grateful for, because I'm getting up, I did my praying, and then I like collapse here outside in my yard. And I've never been able to do that. And though there's like zero energy, I'm like, oh, it's okay. Because I've never been able to just, and it's not so much sleeping, it's just like you're real tired. And if I could I've mentioned that over these past few years, I would be happy for that. Now I want to clarify, because obviously you saw me talking about the Social Security, but the history of some of my friends. And I wanted to make this note. When this process began, and I'll mention this again, my money for my retirement in our fire department in Kingsville, it it was cut in half of what you say for retirement, so the other half went into Social Security. So it drastically lowered our benefits. The fire department in Corpus Christi does not pay into Social Security. Houston and other places, so they do okay. But all those years they cut our retirement in half just to put it in Social Security. And of course, when I retired, even though it was young, if I had all that Social Security not in it, which I didn't want to put in it, in another fund, I would have retired with, if you will, two retirements. Then the 40,000 I took out of mine, I still would have had a supplemental one. But all of that is because Social Security took that money against my will. So anyway, as the process began, that should be one indicator that I learned that people that put into the system throughout their lives, they are discriminated against. And when I first went into this office here on Port, God is my witness. I do not remember his name, but I notified, throughout all these dealings over the last 10 years, I notified the judges that I had to appear before. I had no lawyer, I represented myself. I wrote in writing multiple times. I said, here are the various grievances we have. I'm going to seek it for various physical disabilities. I've made my case, and I said, and also, I want an explanation of why your own official representative at the Port Social Security on my first meeting looked at everything, knew that this guy is qualified credits way more than anybody. And then he said, if I were you, I would sue. I thought, why would he say that? Is it because he knew that I was white? For whatever reason he said that, that showed right from the start. Then, through these whole processes, all back and forth, I went 2 times before the judge myself. They have like a video conference judge. I requested, I said, no, I want to have one in person. They denied that. I said, then you can, we'll go up to San Antonio. And this is what I said in all these arguments. I said, all these years that I paid into that system, and you sent me letters every year, you'd get a statement. And don't forget the benefits, and it showed how much they took. I said, you are treating me like I'm a criminal in an adversarial relationship where I have to go before a judge multiple times. And who am I? Who is the opposing side? My quote insurance company? It's the Social Security disability people that have a lawyer to challenge you. In my case, I'm representing myself, and then there's a judge. I said, what kind of insurance operates like that? You promoted yourself all these years as some type of an insurance policy for me. I've met your criteria more than enough, and I've paid the top credits that man told me. I said, that you misrepresent yourself to me. So would you have your side argue? We understand that he had particular injuries that might have endangered, but we feel they could have tied a rope to him, and if he went into a fire and the leg went out, it's still possible maybe you could have dragged him out of the fire. Well, what about if I was doing the rescue? Well, we would wait until you have 2 or 3 deaths, that the rescues were not performed. This is how I see it. Like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And I have multiple friends on that disability since they were 19 years old. One of them is now 62. He's a meth addict. He stabbed, almost murdered one of my friends the other year. All year. You're just dispensing methamphetamine from those disability checks. Millions and millions go into this community. And the only thing I can imagine is it's because you're corrupt and you're racist. The image you would get, those of you that watch like No Country for Old Men, which was a good movie, by the way. And when you go down to Mexico, I used to go to the markets, and you have little, it's nice. I did this on video last year or so. When I walked into Mexico a couple years ago, I bought this little accordion. And that's nice. I love the Hispanic people, love the Mexican people. But here's the image you get here. Picture walking in to some place you feel is a professional. You want to relocate your family. You want them to get educated out of the good university, which is Texas A&M, which 2 of my daughters went to, or Del Mar, one of them teaches there. And you're expecting an environment of professionalism. You're expecting not to be walking in to a downtown region that reminds you of walking into Mexico. Mariachi's playing. I'll ad lib. I don't know Spanish. A little meth, a little taco, you get your check. Oh no, I'm a white man. Would you get disability? Oh, I was a firefighter for many years. Firefighter, you work? You work? Yes, I work for five. Oh, get check. You're not Mexican drug addict. Mexican drug addict get check. And then the goal for that Social Security, to notify me in writing. But you could maybe get a death benefit. And all of the things people deal with. And you also, it's also permitted for suicide. What is this place of South Texas is rife with corruption. And in these 10 years of dealings, I said from day one, I want you to give me an explanation why your own representative, who happened to be Mexican, looked at me that first day and said, oh, you got all the credits, you got everything, you're going to have to sue. And I wrote in writing multiple times, in all these transactions, I said, I want an explanation for that statement that was made. I said, if he denies it, if he does not remember it, he might be honest and not remember it, but that stuck with me. I said, but I simply want an explanation. I'm not some welfare Mexican meth addict. I'm somebody that put in a lot of time, took your word seriously, that it was, quote, an insurance policy. I'm trying to deal professional with you, and you're acting like it's a little AKA Mexico. Now you answered that. I sent them all of the questions. I even made one video, sent them the flash drive, just making my case. I said, and I want that back. I made requests from them multiple times. I said, I want all the transactions of all of our transactions we had. And then they went silent. And the last letter I got maybe a week ago said, now you're going to have to take us to civil court. And when I called them the other day, I said, I'm notifying you. I was on the phone. They record me. I don't record them. They said, how can we help you? I said, look, this long case has been going on for a long time. I just got a letter from you. It says now my next step is civil court after 10 years. After 10 years. What that original guy told me, you're going to have to sue. We don't give white boys checks, especially if you worked your whole life. And on the phone with them the other day, I said, I'm just notifying you by phone because it's being recorded by you. I said, I'm notifying you, we're going to do civil action, I'm going to represent myself. Oh, no, don't tell us that and disconnect. Like I'm dealing with a taco stand. Like a taco stand. Now, you want your kids to relocate. You want all this? You think it's the bridge and it's the Hurricane Harvey? Don't you think people see this? The example I gave you about Albert? So many of these guys that were of legal age, you gave them the impression that they did not qualify. Meaning that they had to qualify like the rules of disability, even if they're 66, 68, but they were white. So what do you mean you did? Oh, I missed a minute. You qualify. They treat it like their toy down here. Now, one thing for sure, I want a response from Social Security. You either write me in the letter and you say, we investigated that one question you had for us among all the million other things of this big litigation, how we we treat you like a criminal. Your own, the Social Security who represented themselves as insurance, they challenge you. You could still go into the fires. You can still do, well, I might die. Well, we think you should take that risk. What a disgrace. And I had these other friends, meth addicts, worked 0 days, checks coming in, left and right.